Welcome to Sunshine Smiles.
The ticking heart of home. In a small, cozy home, a clock had hung on the living room wall for as long as anyone could remember. It was not a fancy clock, its wooden frame had dulled with age, and its ticking had become a background melody to the family's daily life. But to the family, it was more than just a clock, it was a silent witness to countless memories. The clock had marked time for Sunday lunches filled with laughter, late-night board games, and quiet moments when the family gathered to watch storms through the window. Its rhythmic ticking had accompanied every celebration and every tear, becoming a part of the family's heartbeat. One day, without warning, the clock stopped. Its hands froze at 8:32. At first, no one noticed. Life was busy, and the silence of the clock went unnoticed amidst the hum of daily routines. But gradually, its absence was felt. The quiet in the living room seemed heavier, and the wall looked strangely empty, even with the clock still there.
Did anyone notice the clock has stopped?
Asked the father one evening as they sat down for dinner.
I thought it was just me.
Said the mother.
It's been so quiet lately.
Their teenage daughter looked up from her phone.
We should fix it. It feels weird without it.
The family decided to spend the weekend repairing the clock together. On Saturday morning, they gathered around the dining table, with the clock carefully placed in front of them. The father opened the bag, revealing the intricate gears inside. The mother brought out her sewing kit, thinking she might be able to help with the finer parts. Their daughter, curious but inexperienced, hovered nearby, occasionally looking up tutorials online. As they worked, they began to reminisce.
Do you remember how Grandma used to sit under this clock and knit?
The mother said, smiling.
She'd always glance at it and say, "Time flies, my dear."
And remember that time the clock fell off the wall during my birthday party?
The father added.
We thought it was broken for good, but it just needed a new nail.
Their daughter laughed.
And it was always a race to finish homework before the clock struck 8 o'clock.
Piece by piece, they worked together, sharing memories and laughter. They realized how much the clock had been part of their lives, not just as a tool to tell time but as a silent observer of their moments together. By the time the sun began to set, the clock was repaired. The father wound it carefully, and the familiar ticking returned, filling the room once more. They hung it back on the wall, and as the hands began to move, the mother said,
It feels like the house is alive again.
The father looked thoughtful.
It's strange how we didn't notice how much we missed it. Kind of like how we don't always notice how little time we spend with each other.
The daughter put down her phone.
Maybe we should spend more evenings like this, together.
That evening, the family turned off their devices, made hot cocoa, and sat in the living room, sharing stories under the steady ticking of the clock. The clock, once again, became the heartbeat of their home. But this time, the family vowed to pay attention, not just to the passing seconds but to the moments they shared within them. Moral of the story: time is precious, spend it wisely with those who matter most.